is in Calabar. Calabar is where today? Calabar is, I think, Cross River State, right? Calabar is the headquarter of the Eastern region of Nigeria in 1954. The capital was later moved to Enugu. The capital of the Eastern region of Nigeria was later moved to Enugu, and the second capital was moved to Umuahia, Abia State. Did you see that? Eastern region of Nigeria, the first capital of the Eastern region of Nigeria was in Calabar. From Calabar, the capital was moved to Enugu State. From Enugu capital, which is Enugu State now. From Enugu, the capital was moved to Abia State in Umuahia in Abia State. Are you listening? Now, the region was officially divided. This Eastern region was officially divided in 1967. In 1967. What happened in 1967? When did the Biafra or Nigeria-Biafra war ended? And this was divided in 1967. Now, this Eastern region, I am not saying old, it is still the same thing today. The Eastern region of Nigeria was divided in 1967. In 1967, into 3 states, into 3 new states. This whole Eastern region you see today, that you have South-South, they call South-South. And you have the one they call Southeast. This whole region you see was one. And in 1967, they divided into 3 states. And that comprises the what you call South-South today, which is actually not in map. You can't see anything like that in the map, anything like South-South or anything like that. It was only 3 states in 1967. The states are as follows. You have what we call the Eastern Central States. You have what we call the Eastern Central States. You have the Rivers State and you have the Southeastern State. These are the 3 major states you have from the Eastern region of Nigeria in 1967 after the war. And you should be asking yourself, after the war, they looked at how to weaken the Eastern Nigeria, and they begin by dividing you into pieces so that the strength will continue to reduce, and so that the unity and peace amongst you will continue to shatter. And today they think they have succeeded. They have not succeeded, and that is why they know what they did. And now when we are looking for Biafra and separation from Nigeria, they put us to this work that Simon Ekpa is coming this evening to lecture some of you who don't know this history, especially from Delta State. Now, this is exactly the aim, their aim for dividing the eastern part of Nigeria, so that by the time we re-strategize after the war, by the time Biafra re-strategize to be doing what we are doing today, we will not only do this agitation, but we will have problem in trying to lecture and make sure we educate people like those of them that are shouting that they are not Biafran today from Delta State. So this is they succeeded in making us now to invest our time that we should have invested in dealing with Nigeria, because today I should have invested this time to come and deal and shake the foundation of Nigeria. But now I am investing this time, this live broadcast now, to educate some of you who claim that Delta State is not Biafra. And of course, as I'm educating Biafra, as I'm educating the Delta people who don't know their history, this same history I'm reading about Biafra and Delta State will also touch every Ijaw people. We also touch every Ibibio person. We also touch everybody in Niger Delta, what they call Niger Delta today, because this whole thing is the same problem that we have in Delta State. I told you that the camera will be shaking, and please don't mind it. So now, after they divide this eastern part of Nigeria into three, you have the East Central State, you have the River State, you have the Southeastern State. Now, the East Central State had its capital in Enugu, which is Enugu State of today, and which is now part of Enugu State. The region has third, fourth, and fifth largest indigenous ethnic group, including the Igbos, including the Igbo, Ijaw, and Ibibio. Are you people hearing that? Eastern part of Nigeria was divided into three in 1967 after the war. And from that division, because I'm repeating these things so that it will get into your head, those of you who come to shout, Niger Delta is not Biafra, Delta is not Biafra, Ijaw is not Biafra, and all that, so that you will know your history. And I hope this, what I'm telling you now and what I'm reading now, will go into your head. This is not something that anybody made up. This is the history of you, that because they don't teach these things in Nigeria school, you grow up with what you know. Nobody tells you, and even when this information are publicly available, but because your life, everything about you is limited in Nigeria. In Nigeria, you are limited to only eating garri and fufu and going to school that is ill-equipped, going to school without computer. None of those government school in your place in Niger Delta today has computer room. You don't have any computer room in your schools. You don't have access to internet in your schools, and it is only those who can afford to buy data that will be accessing internet. And in Biafra, what we are agitating for now, internet will be free. Internet will be free. Where I am talking to you now from, internet is free. If you go out of the street, you will be connected to Wi-Fi free of charge. You are not being charged for public Wi-Fi. And that is why when we shout about Biafra, sorry about this video, like I said, I'm going to be having some issues with the stand of this camera, but it is only for today. By tomorrow, it will be fixed, and we will continue our normal broadcast from tomorrow. So this equipment will be having these problems, and it is only for this evening, and it will be back to normal. Now, as I was saying, one moment. As I was saying, you see, the issue of the Delta State, I have the camera now in my hand, so I don't have to worry about this whole equipment that is now behaving somehow like Buhari's equipment. So, like I said, the people that you see today shouting Biafra, or that Niger Delta is not Biafra, or that Delta State is not Biafra, and what have you. Listen to what I'm telling you this evening, and you will be glad that you did at the end of the day. as a Biafran, I am fixing this whole thing as simultaneously as I am telling you and educating you. I am fixing it simultaneously. That is what Biafrans are known for. We are very, very smart people, and we are very, very experienced in anything we do. So whatever situation, you will use your brain to fix it, even without having the experience of fixing anything. So now, why am I doing this? The time I should have used to educate and shake Nigeria foundation as it continued to shake now and continue to remove Nigeria government is what I'm using now to educate you, because Nigeria government removed this history in Nigeria schools, and a lot of you don't know anything about your roots, your history. So now, I have told you today that in 1954, we have a colony, Southern Nigeria, and inside that Southern Nigeria, you have what we call Eastern region, and what you have today as South, South, and Southeast is one in this Eastern region. Listen very clearly. And this Eastern region, the capital was in Calabar. Later on, the capital was moved to Enugu. And then after Enugu, the capital was moved to Umuahia, which is Abia State. And after that, the region had third, fourth, and fifth largest indigenous ethnic group, including the Igbo, including the Igbo, the Ijaw, and the Ibibio. These Ijaw people that they are claiming now today, when you talk of Biafra, it is as if we are begging them for Biafra. You see Asaridu Kubo, who is now being used as a division, because when I listened to Asaridu Kubo a few days ago about that the amnesty is Ijaw amnesty, you know, it is really unbelievable that somebody that a lot of people in Ijaw land are looking up to will be a tool to be used to bring division in Biafra struggle. Why would Asaridu Kubo go and start saying amnesty is Ijaw, and every other Niger Delta who participated in amnesty, or who were a member of MEND, or who were once one of the militants, they are all nonsense. They don't have anything. It was Ijaw people and all that. Why would Asaridu Kubo come to start making this kind of inflammable statement when we are looking at how to bring everybody together? It doesn't worth it. Why the amnesty he is talking about today, trying to bring division, was set up by Yaradua, President Yaradua, of how many years ago? Asaridu Kubo in 2020 is trying to divide Ijaw nation because he see that a lot of people are lining with the Biafra agitators, and he want to start dividing them. This is Asaridu Kubo should stop, because a lot of people are looking up to him. He should stop dividing this Ijaw nation and Niger Delta, or whatever it is called. So we don't have any other thing, any other ethnic group. In those days, the majority of the ethnic group we have in Biafra land in Eastern Nigeria is the Igbo, the Ijaw, and the Ibibio. And this ethnic group